we helped each other. And Walter went on to win this international breakdancing competition, and the day after Sean talked to him, he was going to Bolivia to teach. Then he was going to Germany to accept an award and to teach. He said another boy in the class named Michael went on to be a choreographer, to perform on stages in New York City, and he works with the D1 dance company in Peru that has 7 studios. And guess who's the director of that studio? Vanya. Isn't that beautiful? And so, why am I telling you all of this, right? The reason that I'm telling you this is because the changes in the lives of those young men, the creation of an international nonprofit organization that helps people all over the world, thousands of people, the creation of this life dance troupe from kids from leprosy colonies, all of this happened because 2 people were willing to get out of the car, right? So for us, what is our car? Where is our comfort zone? And where are we afraid to maybe step out and use our talents? The collective talents in this room are remarkable. Remarkable, and there's so much good that we can do with our lives. And so I guess I would challenge you to find that one thing that maybe feels a little bit scary, but that you could add to the world in helping inspire and lifting people. Maybe it's just believing in someone. Maybe it's sponsoring a child. Maybe it's getting involved in these organizations that I talked to you about. If you do want to get involved, come talk to me afterwards. But there is something that you can do. There's a spark in you that you can add to the world. And so I would encourage you to get out of the car. And Goethe has a beautiful quote, and I'll just leave you with this. He says, "Whatever you can do or dream to do, begin it. Boldness has genius, magic, and power in it." Thank you. And I'm just going to maybe turn the time over here, and it's Marie-Claude. I think I totally pronounced that wrong. She's amazing. She works with UNESCO, the United Nations. She works with equality, and I just met Marie, so I'm going to let Marie speak for herself. Thank you so much.
I'm a volunteer. I represent Business and Professional Women International to UNESCO, yes. And so we are in consultative status with UNESCO, and we are organizing under the head of the liaison committee of NGOs at UNESCO, forums, international forums, and international events all over the world. And this is very important for our visibility, women's visibility, and also because they are the poorest, we also think about any other poor people around the world. So I will start my presentation with this quote from ATD Fourth World, All Together for Dignity. I think it's really relevant to the theme of breaking the cycle of poverty by inspiring change from within. So all policies, because this is very important, implementation of policies at the member state level. All policies relevant to poverty must be aimed at empowering persons living in poverty. They must be based on the recognition of those people's rights to make their own decision and respect their capacity to fulfill their own potential, and that's what Caroline talked about, their sense of dignity and their right to participate in decisions affecting their lives. So, next slide, please. I'm going now to talk about feminization of poverty, because my BP, my NGO is focused on gender equality, women's rights. So the hard facts are there, because I know we come up to so much resistance in international meetings, but also national, regional, even from women, and of course from men too. So eradicating poverty is today's major challenge, and it is the first Sustainable Development Goal, which was adopted last September 2015 at the UN General Assembly for the Agenda 2030. So feminization of poverty, why? Because women are among the poorest, and 70% of the poor people are women. 66% of the working poor are also women. And of course, the children who are raised in women-headed families are among the poorest, and you have the statistic there. Next, please. So, how to break the cycle of poverty? So, getting rid of gender bias for equal rights, which means getting rid of cliches and stereotypes about women, girls, and women and girls, and also their positions in society. So, gender bias prevents women from access to education, training, health services, childcare, and legal status required to escape poverty. So poverty is financial and it's also social, but there are also those women who are poor not in money but in time, because they are totally devoted to their family and the caring, as you said, which is very important. And very often this word is called unpaid care because it is not in the GDP of countries. And this is very important to recognize unpaid care for the well-being of our society. So change from within the society is important. It means changing mindsets and mentalities to get rid of stereotypes which are ingrained in societies at different levels and breed discrimination and exclusion. So So the area which is crucial is education and training, because you know that over the world, 57 million out-of-school children are out of school, and the majority of them, 62 million of girls, are girls. They are denied the right to go to school, and this is heavily concentrated in South and West Asia, Sub-Saharan Africa, and East Asia, and the Pacific. And statistics show also that compared to boys, larger number of socially excluded girls have much poorer enrollment, attendance, and completion rates only for basic education. So this is what we call aggravating factors, because if women are from rural areas, or if they are handicapped, and if they come from poor family, they will be still more excluded. So they have to be empowered. So first they have to have the equal rights, and also we are looking for engaging people around the world and respecting their rights and have their rights respected. So we want an inclusive growth society. Why is it important? Because women are one of the most powerful people in economy, and the World Economic Forum Gender Gap Report shows that there is a positive correlation between women's empowerment, GDP per capita, and human development. So we need women as leaders. Leadership is not just a gift of nature. It's nothing that is nurtured on the benches of schools. And that's why it is important that all women and girls have access to training and to education. So putting sustainability and resilience in the forefront is major for our future. Well-being and humanity, as you said, and so we want a 50-50 planet, what we call diversity of men and women. Next, just the last quote from UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon, which made a report of a life of dignity for all, for inclusive and sustainable society. So at UNESCO, I co-organized the forum, International NGO UNESCO Forum, on the role of women in fighting poverty. And we are currently organizing a follow-up to the forum. And that's why also I came here to make connections with NGOs in the fields and with people who are volunteers and also with private sector who want to help us and find projects in the different regions of the world with a coordination so that we can make it visible. And I can guarantee that it is very important, that we are visible. And the last slide, please, is Irina Bokova, who is the Director General of UNESCO, and this was published on tweet by Huffington Post a few days ago, and I think it's very important. You have to know that gender equality is one of the 2 global priorities of UNESCO with Africa. And so, shall I read it or? Yes? I see the new Agenda 2030 as a global, comprehensive and transformative vision to advance human rights and dignity and to empower societies everywhere with specific tools for their own development. And this is important because people from the South are the experts, in the field. So, and also we're talking about a transformative vision. Gender equality is a basic human right, and after working with inspirational women around the world, that's what we're doing here for the whole week, I'm convinced of the transformational power of gender equality to establish more peaceful, inclusive, and sustainable society. It all starts with ensuring women and children equal access to education and social life. Really, education is number one as a key factor against poverty. It is our obligation to protect and to empower women, to end violence, because also this is part of the discrimination against women and girls, including sexual violence, and to safeguard women's role in our societies. There can be no excuse for the appalling crimes of sexual violence, and I consider that the UN has to show its strong commitment to ending impunity for violence against women and girls. In times of growing intolerance, I strongly believe that the United Nations must be even more active at the forefront of the fight against hatred, racism, and anti-Semitism, keeping the awareness of the tragic lessons of the past. So that's it. And you have to go to the UNESCO website, and you can take flyers, and you can go also to the NGO UNESCO Liaison Committee website to see what we are doing. And if you're interested, please come and see me. Thank you very much.
Well, I want to thank Carolyn. That was a fabulous story. Appreciate that. And Marie is so intelligent. We said of the three blondes, she's the smartest. So we're glad that she's with us. So my name is Rochelle Rutherford, and I am the CEO of the American Campus, which is a new university in Mauritius, Africa, and I live in the USA. And the founder, his name is Spalding Jugalaku, he is actually going to be based in Mauritius, Africa. And so I am a strong advocate of education, and so that is who I am today. But what I'd like to share with you is maybe a different perspective of being one of those individuals that was in poverty myself, and maybe walk you through a scenario and what happened with me. So when I was 16, I was talking with my sister after an event that had taken place, and I found out that my sister was being sexually abused. And I was very surprised to hear that she was, because I thought I was the only one. And when I found that out about my sister, I was appalled, and something inside me just said, no, this has to stop. And so I took a stand, and I was being abused by my father, and so was my sister. And so I took a stand, and I said, this needs to stop, our family needs help, and there's a problem that needs to be addressed. And our home is unsafe, and I'm not going to live in this home until we correct the problem. And so I went ahead and I left as an angry teenager